Welcome back to the WPIAL Insider Show. This is the WPIAL Recap Show, and I'm your host and WPIAL Insider, Carlos Zofko. If you are unaware of what this show is, we highlight the top 11 games every single week. It doesn't matter which team is which, how big the games are. We're highlighting the top 11 best games that come down to the wire. It was a lot of fun putting this together. We actually did a bonus game, so we got 12 games for you this week. Mr. Insider here, we did 10 games last week, so I had to make it up this week to get our average back to 11 here. So we got the top 12 games played each week, 1A all the way through 6A. And let me tell you, the 6As, the big boys were barking. There were some major games in the 5A and 6A classification. And let me tell you, there were some barn burners in the 1A and 2A and 3A classifications. This really was an unbelievable week. About 50% of the teams were in conference play. As you know, once you get into conference play, that is playoff implications on the line. The first step to a WPIAL championship is getting that conference championship. And with that, we had a lot of movement in our Fry Performance Training Top 25. Our Top 25 are the 25 best teams, regardless of classification, and we got a lot more clarity this week after the Top 25. The big news of the week, of course, Avonworth dominating Thomas Jefferson. It throws a major wrench into kind of everything, the entire landscape. How high can the 3A team get in the Top 25? We're going to find out later in the show, but first, we're going to kick it off here with the top 12 games of the week, highlights broken down. You're not going to get these highlights anywhere else. We pride ourselves on covering all WPIAL teams, 1A through 6A, and we've already gotten over 40 teams covered in the first 3 weeks. That's something we're very proud to see. We're hoping to get them all by the end of the year. Just give us some time. We're going to keep chipping away. Enough of me talking. Let's jump right in to the top 12 games and the highlights of each team. Kicking us off, we're going to go to the battle of the big guys in 6A, Norwin versus Seneca Valley, and let me tell you, it was all Norwin. Starting it off is Tristan Tavares finding Josh Leonard 14 yards out. Norwin takes the quick lead, and they weren't going to stop. Giovanni Rothroth, big 14-yard touchdown run there. Tristan Josephic with a couple extra points. He was money all night. Then Tavares drops back, rolls around, finds his guy Jake Knight. 10-yard touchdown pass. The Knights are firing on all cylinders, but they're not done quite yet. It's going to be Tristan Tavares. He's one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the entire WPIAL, and that change of direction and burst, he is tough to bring down. There he goes, 34 yards out. Norwin continuing to roll. Is Seneca in the game yet? Tavares then going to find Zach Pauling for a 3-yard touchdown pass. Norwin jumps out to an incredible start. Then Andrew Lobig from Seneca Valley. He's going to run around. He's going to call his own number, tuck it himself, get a tough touchdown there. But on the ensuing kickoff, it's going to be Potter Brozeski, 96 yards, slicing through the Seneca Valley special teams. Norwin firing on all cylinders here. I can't believe these Knights. But Lobig going to find his big guy, Adam Gem, 8-yard touchdown pass. Nice little top off there for Seneca Valley, but it's going to continue to be Tavares who's going to call his own number. He's one of the toughest guys in the entire WPIAL. And then finally, Parker Rigo, 3-yard touchdown run for the cherry on top. Norwin 56, Seneca Valley 13. In the game of the night, Hopewell versus Beaver, and let me tell you, this game was the most back and forth that I've seen. We're going to start it off here. James Boo Boo Armstrong finding Kingston Crotech, 30-yard touchdown pass there. That's not going to be all. Then Nasir Wade, one of the better running backs in the entire WPIAL. This might be a top 10 play nominee here. 86 yards. They're not going to catch him. He outruns all the angles. Hopewell jumps out to a quick lead. Then Armstrong going to find Avery Bokar. 35-yard pass on the money. Hopewell getting things cooking, but Beaver's not going to go down without a fight. Travis Clears finds Micah Poopy. 80-yard touchdown there. Micah just outrunning the entire Hopewell defense. And that's not going to be all for these Beaver Bobcats. Then Jonah Justice, 3-yard touchdown run. A couple more Beaver field goals. I'll tell you what, Ty Kiski was money all night, but Armstrong's going to find his guy Bokor, 45-yard touchdown pass yet again. But Justice, another 1-yard touchdown run. This game was really back and forth. Armstrong here going to call his own number. 13-yard touchdown run, and he's not done just yet. This with maybe the WPIAL play of the year so far. Armstrong going to drop back to pass, doesn't like what he sees. He's going to call his own number, tuck it and run, break 3 tackles there, break an ankle there. He's going to be down the sidelines. One more stiff arm for good measure, another broken tackle, and he's going to go 70 yards for the touchdown. An unbelievable showing from Hopewell. But Justice, another 10-yard touchdown run. Beaver just would not go away. We're going to get into overtime. Clear's going to drop back to pass, find his man in the end zone. Beaver then going to kick the extra point in overtime, take a 7-point lead, but Hopewell not going away. Boo-Boo finds his guy for the touchdown. Logan Triskella. They're going for 2 in the win. Boo-Boo calls his own number. Hopewell stands tall, 51-50. Beaver stands tall, 51-50. Unbelievable game there. Then Mount Pleasant and Ambridge, another great game right here. We're going to start it off with Caden Hudick. 58-yard touchdown run for Mount Pleasant here. The Vikings having a very nice season so far. MP goes up on the board. But you know the Bridgers aren't going to go away. Davion Kane calls his own number, and the Wildcats 60-yard touchdown. Going to outrun the defense here. You're not catching him. There goes Ambridge to tie the game at 7. Then Hudick again. 3-yard touchdown run. The Vikings right back up on top. But it's going to be Ambridge. Martise Priest finding Nathan Sheffield. Sheffield gonna outrun the defense, split them up through the middle and outrun them. Ambridge ties up the game. Then Richard Shawley, 5-yard touchdown run for MP there. Then Kane, 1 yard. That's a tough run there, the old tush push. Then here we go, Ambridge again. Shamar Underwood, 6-yard touchdown. Ambridge takes the lead on the ensuing extra point. It's gonna be blocked at the line of scrimmage. Can Mount Pleasant mount a comeback with the final 4 minutes? Dane Fernstone, 2-yard touchdown run there. And then it's gonna be Tyke Snyder for the game. The extra point is good. Mount Pleasant would hold on 28-27. Moving on in a battle of 5A versus 3A, South Fayette and Elizabeth Ford. And this one was a good one, folks. 2 really good QBs. We're going to start off, though. Drew Welhorski going to find Daniel Specka. Specka's going to break a tackle, take it 62 yards to the house. South Fayette jumps up on the board first. Then Aiden Wright, 92 yards off the tackle. There he goes. You're not going to beat him. He's going to get to that 2nd and 3rd level. Nobody's going to touch him. Wright, massive 92-yard run there. South Fayette going to keep things rolling. Welhorski going to drop back. Find Wright leaking out of the backfield. Fools me, fools the cameraman, fools Elizabeth forward. South Fayette in complete control, but that's not going to be it. Ryan Messina finding Anthony St. Angelo in the back of the end zone. He's going to jump over the South Fayette defender and come down with it. Then Messina's going to call his own number. He's one of the tougher ones in the WPIAL as well. Can Welhorski and South Fayette answer? And you know he's going to. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Welhorski. But Messina gonna drop back to pass, find his guy Landon Hoenick, who's had a great senior year. Unbelievable body control there. EF can't come back. South Fayette hangs on 27-24. Then in one of the better ones in 5A, Shaler versus Plum. Plum gonna start things off here with CJ Hart. 4-yard touchdown run. Stangs take the lead. But Shaler gonna answer. Aaron Aversa gonna drop back, find Braden Page in the back of the end zone. Nice toe tap there. Shaler would get a field goal, but Plum wouldn't go away. It's gonna be CJ Hart again. This guy's only a junior. I really like this kid. CJ gonna take it 61 yards to the house. Then, we're going to get another look here. Splitting through the offensive line, CJ Hart breaking a couple different ankles there. Then he's going to outrun the angle, break one final tackle. Big run there from Hart. Shaler going to get it right back, though. Aaron Aversa, 3-yard touchdown run. Then Avery Kittner, 13-yard touchdown run. Here come the Titans. Gaetano's going to add on another field goal. Nonnenberger for Plum. Going to run around, call his own number, tuck it himself, get in there. It's going to be a little bit too late. That was the final play of the game. 27-20. Shaler beats Plum. In another massive battle in 5A, Penn, Trafford, and Woodland Hills, the Warriors go to the Wolverina. Taylor Reed gonna welcome them to the Wolverina. Woodland Hills jumps on the board first, and this one was a great one here, ladies and gentlemen. Then Ben Grabowski, who had a monster game for PT, gets in with a 7-yard run. The problem is the ensuing kickoff. They're going to kick it away from Scoop Smith. That's no problem here. They're just going to pitch it to the man, Scoop Smith. Woody High pitches it to Scoop, and you're not touching Scoop. He goes down the sideline 65-yard from the lateral from Anthony Barron. But then Cody Yacamelli, that's Cody Yacamelli, Cade Yacamelli's little brother. He's been magnificent this year. 80-yard touchdown run off the left side there. But the problem with PT, you're going to kick it to the guy, Scoop Smith. They're trying to squib it. Scoop finds it. Scoop, when he finds the ball, he's going to find a crevice, and you're not going to catch him. Scoop Smith, 72 yards. Tack on 72 more for the kid in the return game. Then Reed, another 7-yard touchdown run. Woodland Hills starting to get in control. Then we're going to run the old triple option. Cam Walter going to keep it himself, dive into the end zone. He's going to get in. Then PT's going to drop back to pass. It's going to be Landon Akins. The tip drill. Akins is going to take it 58 yards to the house for the Wolverines. Wolverines just in full control right here. Then PT going to fumble it. It's going to be Luca Butler, the big fella, the offensive tackle's going to find the ball. We love it when the big fellas get on the touchdown. Finally, Reed, 35-yard touchdown, add 35 more for him. Woody High dominates 49-21. In the battle of 1A, Shenango Wildcats, the Northgate Flames. This was a good one. We're going to start it off. Shenango, Nico DeSalvo, 13-yard touchdown run. DeSalvo had a monster game here. Then Landon Alberniti, 2-yard touchdown run. Shenango getting hot quickly. AJ Farilla, 2-yard touchdown run. Shenango just drove all the way down the field. The Wildcats couldn't be stopped. But then Northgate, Devontae Smith gonna find Jordan Hairston. Hairston's going to jump up over 2 Wildcats, come down with it, and go into the end zone. Northgate gets on the board. Then here comes the Wildcats again. I mean, it was just all Shenango all day long. That was Del Salvo. Del Salvo's going to get this one again. Another 9-yard touchdown run here. Northgate going to try to mount a comeback. Smith going to find Noel Aranda. 3-yard touchdown pitch and catch there. That was a nice one, too. But it's going to be McConnell from Shenango. Going to find Jaslyn Williams. He's going to get in there. Northgate, Smith, going to find his guy Zion Ward. Zion going to make a couple dudes miss. Get into the end zone. Maybe a top 10 play nominee there from Ward. But it's going to be all the Wildcats 56-20 over Northgate. In a battle of 5A versus 4A, Peters Township going to Trinity. This was an interesting matchup, but it was going to be all Peters Township all night. Nolan DeLucia finding Pitt commit Reston Lehman there. Then maybe the play of the night. Lucas Shanafelt, one-handed, left-handed, getting to the passing lane, kid. Another top 10 play nominee. Shanafelt, the Stanford commit. Unbelievable. DeLucia gonna drop back. He's a Villanova commit. Finding his guy Lucas Ross, who's had an unbelievable breakout season. Ross, 44-yard touchdown there. Then Cole Newpaver, another senior breaking out for PT here, 13-yard touchdown. Trinity going to get on the board, though. Jonah Williamson, one of my favorites, the Harvard commit. He's tough as nails. He's smart as you would ever believe, too. He's going to get in 1 yard there. Then Williamson going to roll left, and he's going to throw a beautiful dime all the way down the field. Find Chase Kostelnick, 56-yard touchdown pass, but it's going to be all PT, 31-12. Then conference game in 5A, Kiski versus Gateway. Maybe an elimination game early in the year, and it's going to be Gateway. Mason Mitchell finding Casey Carter, and Carter's going to get in from 15 yards out. Kiski's going to answer, though. Landon Artman finding Andrew Finney, 9-yard touchdown there. Very nice play by Kiski there, but we're going to get back to it. Kiski again cooking right now. Gators are going to try to respond here. It's going to be Mitchell finding Sean Moorfield. Touchdown Gators. Then Moorfield again. 1 yard touchdown run. Gators getting it cooking right here. But you know Kiski's going to answer. It's going to be Artman finding this guy Avon Shirley in the back of the end zone, jumping up over the Gateway Gator for the touchdown there. Big run. Mitchell, though, going to call his own number this time. Reach out with the left hand, get it in. But Artman's going to find another one of his targets, Tegan Shirley, and Shirley, acrobatic catch there. Kiski wouldn't go away. Artman going to find Avon Shirley again. This was a fun one, back and forth all night. Kiski comes up a little short on the comeback, 34-31 Gateway. Then in a decent match here, Moon versus West Allegheny. There just wasn't much going on, but this was a big match. West A would get on the board first with a field goal, but then it's going to be Andrew Cross finding Jaden Rivas 31 yards out. Cross has been having one heck of a senior year. Then it's going to be Cross finding Savario Vendetti, 6-yard touchdown. Moon continues going. West A is going to try to mount the comeback, but Jared Moyer's going to say, hey, give me that. That's going to be mine. 35-yard pick six there for Moyer. Moon in the low-scoring battle is going to win 21-3 over West A. In one of the games of the night, 1A Burgettstown versus Cornell. This was a great one. And we're going to start it off here. Khalil Johnson, the William and Mary commit, making dudes miss all over the field. I mean, how many shake and bakes can this kid do? 51-yard touchdown. Johnson gets on the board. And let me tell you this, kicking, not the greatest idea. Or kickoffs in this match hasn't been the greatest idea. Michael Carosa, 78-yard kickoff return for Burgettstown. Burgettstown's going to take the lead here, especially with this big kicker, Colton County. County made a 43-yard field goal earlier. This one from 40 yards. The guy has a cannon for a 1A team. He's going to sink that one. Cornell's going to have to come back here. Cornell drops back the pass. They're losing 13-6, mind you. It's going to be MJ Stuckey finding Isaiah Dawson in the back of the end zone. He's going to get the touchdown. They're going to fail the conversion. This is the final play of the game. They're down a point. 3 yards out. Stuckey finds Johnson. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Cornell pulls it out on the last play of the game, 18-13. And finally, Ringgold versus Greensburg Salem, both 2-1. This would be big if each program could go to 3-1. Only one can, and let me tell you what, Dennis Dawkins from Ringgold, he made it his mission for the Rams to be 3-1. Coach Robert Heller's been doing one heck of a job for the Rams here. Amani Ward here, 1-yard touchdown run for Ringgold. Ringgold jumping on them early. Hawkins gonna drop back the pass. Find his guy Dimitri Lowe, and Lowe has been excellent, the super junior there. And then Hawkins gonna drop back again. Find Lowe again, beating the defense. Ringgold jumps out quickly, 26 points. Greensburg Salem's Brody Chismar's gonna find Tyrese Lewis 16 yards out, but Ringgold will answer again. Hawkins gets a 27-yard pass off here to Ward. Ward's going to make a couple dudes miss, and that was one heck of a stiff arm there too. Greensburg Salem going to come back, have a 9-yard touchdown here, but Ringgold all Rams, 33-13 over Greensburg, Salem. And that'll do it for the highlights section of the show. I mean, I would think the game of the week, potentially the game of the year, Hopewell versus Beaver going into the game. Nobody thought it was going to be like that. Hopewell was a monster team. They were in my top 25. Beaver comes in a little bit of a rebuild year. Travis Clear, the quarterback, says, rebuild. Let's get this thing going. Monster upset for the Beaver Bobcats and head coach Court Rouse. Really good program he's building out there. Coach Mott in Hopewell, he was the interim last year. He's now the head coach this year. It's very exciting to see what he has the Hopewell Vikings doing. Best of luck to both of those teams coming back. Another crazy game was that last one you just saw, Ringgold and Greensburg, Salem, both of them 2-1 entering the game. Ringgold now 3-1. Head coach Robert Heller's been doing a heck of a job turning that program around. If you can remember, when he got the head coaching job, they were on a 2.5-year losing streak. So good to see the Ringgold Rams back getting things cooking. And, as you saw, Norwin just kind of making a statement in 6A by dominating Seneca Valley. Is this the year that a team finally upends either Central Catholic or North Allegheny for the 1 and 2 seed? We might find out next week. Norwin plays North Allegheny next week. That's going to be a game that I have circled. We're going to find out. Getting into it, let's get into the top 25 teams presented to you by Fry Performance Training. But before that, let's take a quick timeout for our sponsor break here. We'll be right back right after this.
Black Bear Fundraising, in partnership with Vertical Raise Donation Platform, is proud to sponsor the WPIAL Insider Show, Player and Coach of the Week Award. For over 25 years, we've been helping teams and groups raise the funds they need. From our premium discount cards to the Vertical Raise online platform, we've helped hundreds of programs raise millions of dollars. And just this year, we worked with Peters Township Football, helping them raise over $55,000 for their program. If you're looking for the best fundraising solution in the tri-state area, reach out to us today. Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh, the official fundraising partners of the WPIAL Insider Show.
Some moments on the field go beyond the game. They shape who we become. At Home Team Collections, we honor those moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Because these moments aren't just memories, they're a legacy worth preserving. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
Welcome back to the WPIAL Insider Show. It's the WPIAL Recap Show, and I'm your host and WPIAL Insider, Carlos Offco. We are now jumping into the Fry Performance Training Top 25. This is the 25 best teams in the WPIAL, regardless of classification. Things get very interesting with these top 25s, and they get shaken up all the time. This week especially, the most movement in the first 4 weeks here in the WPIAL football season. So we're starting to learn a lot in conference play. We'll continue to shake up the top 25. Let's jump right into the list. Here it is, the top 25 for this week, presented by Fry Performance Training. Fry Performance Training, building fast, explosive, and strong athletes. Coming in at the number 1 spot, the Central Catholic Vikings. How could it be anybody else? They've been dominating in the WPIAL, and they're going to continue to do that, I think, throughout the duration of their regular season. At number 2, Upper St. Clair. Upper St. Clair is 2 over Peters Township in North Allegheny and Pine, just because of what they've been doing to teams. It's been that bad. Ethan Hellman playing like the player of the year right now. I like Upper St. Clair sitting at 2. Number 3, Peters Township. They haven't been dominating teams like they were last year. We'll see what PT does really when they get into conference play, which will be next week. North Allegheny coming in at 4. I like NA. They have a big one against number 16 Norwin this week. And at number 5, Pine Richland. Pine probably a little bit too low. They were our number 1 preseason team. They lost to Central Catholic. They were beating Central Catholic for a decent majority of the game. I think they could absolutely sneak all the way back up the rankings. Of course, the last week of the season, they have that big matchup versus North Allegheny. I'm sure they will be finding Upper St. Clair and Peters Township in the playoffs if they do what we expect them to do. At number 6, the first 3A team on the list, even over the 4A teams, is Avonworth. Avonworth is number 6. You know, Bill Chirpek said after the game, Avonworth would probably win 4A. That's a big statement from the GOAT, Bill Chirpek. I like the Lopes and Duke John Core at 6. Moon coming in at 7. Moon continues to find ways to win. TJ at 8. McKeesport 9. Woody High sliding all the way up to number 10 after beating Penn Trafford. Penn Trafford at 11. The Quips at 12. They did beat Mars this week. Mars 2 weeks ago beat Bethel Park, so that is in succession. 12, 13, 14 right there. Hempfield dropping to 15 after the loss to North Allegheny. Norwin sticking at 16 this week. South Fayette at 17. Amani Christian at 18. Amani beat Valley by 77 this week. I think they're a team that could continue to rise, especially if they beat Avonworth in the playoffs. They can absolutely shoot up this ranking. Cannon Mac at 19. Montour sitting pretty at 20 right there. Char Valley, new to the list at 21. Welcome, Coach Spence in the Colts. 22, new to the list again. Ringgold, Coach Heller has them firing on all cylinders at 3-1. Newcastle, Coach Muzzy, 23 for the Canes. I think that's very respectable. 24, I kept West Allegheny at number 24 despite the loss to Moon. I don't think losing to Moon by 18 should knock you out of the ranking. I like West Allegheny here. They have 2 losses to Moon and CV. And Bell Vernon at 25, losing to McKeesport this week. That was a tough one for the Leopards. We'll see how they bounce back, but they're at a solid 25 here. The big one, though, Avonworth jumping all the way up to 6. I think after beating Aliquippa and TJ in back-to-back weeks, how could you not? They've earned respect from everybody. We'll see where the Lopes can continue to do, and if they can continue to keep this offensive line healthy, that's going to be the key. That's your top 25 Fry Performance Training, top 25 of the week. And that'll do it for the WPIAL Insider Show. It's the WPIAL Recap Show. Once again, I'm your host and WPIAL Insider, Carlos Ofka. This is a great time putting everything together. We hope that you're enjoying it. You're not going to find these highlights anywhere else. So be sure to give me a follow on Twitter and on Instagram at WPIAL_insider. We do a lot of cool things throughout the week. We have top 10 plays, top 25 teams of the week. This highlight show is posted on social media as well as the number 1 podcast in Western Pennsylvania high school football, the WPIAL Insider Show with our co-host Brad Everett and Matt Fargo. We have a grand old time. If you love WPIAL football, be sure to give me a follow at WPIAL Insider. That's on both Instagram and X. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be seeing you back next week. I'm your host and WPIAL Insider, Carlos Ofko. See you next week.